It is tax night on OpenLine. If you have a tax question, we have about 10 more minutes, so this is the time to call. Almost all the lines are open. Ask Dr. Friday your question. I can almost guarantee you got an answer. No one has stumped you yet tonight. I am so impressed. Let's go to Francis. Francis calling back again. Francis, I understand that you've been hit by some of these scam calls. Are you with us, Francis?
Yes.
Yeah, what did they tell you when they called?
They identified themselves as IRS, and they had a warrant from IRS.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
It is scary when you hear warrant, arrest, and IRS in one sentence. Most of us are sitting there going, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? But again, IRS, I mean, they can issue warrants, but those are for federal felonies, and you have already went through the entire process of dealing with the IRS. And at that point, they're going to serve it in person. Guarantee you they're going to knock on your door and hand you your warrant to show up in federal court. Never will the IRS call and say they have these things. They're going to do a face-to-face. They don't, there's no reason for them to call because then they would give themselves away. I mean, so it's great that, in the sense that you've called, and just be smart. Don't give any Social Security numbers. Don't give anything out. If those words come out of someone's mouth, I don't even care if it's the real IRS. Hang up the phone. Call the main number, which is 615-250 something, and you'll have to Google it because I don't have it, but I guarantee you it starts with 615 and it goes with 250. That's the local ones, and you will get somebody there. Call that number, even the local 800 numbers they have. Don't ever, even if you're not sure, I guarantee you that revenue officer is going to feel better as much as you do to do that, okay? So don't feel like you're insulting them. Immediately call back, though. Don't just ignore it and like you do the love letters and throw them in a drawer somewhere and say, they don't really exist because I can't see them anymore. But I would not take any of those calls seriously.
And there's really no call list you get on because these guys are scammers.
Well, that's it. There's no way of, I have personally gotten several of the phone calls. I have clients that have gotten them, and every time I get the freaky phone call, they called, whatever, but there's no way of stopping it. There's no way of blocking it because they continuously call from other numbers.
Well, that's what I wanted to know. Is there any way to stop it?
No, ma'am. There's no, trust me, the IRS is truly working on that. Every time we get the phone numbers, we send them over to their fraud division, but the numbers have already changed
all the time.
Constantly. And you know how easy it is to get a phone number now with, cell phones and Google lines and all these different things you can get. So sorry, sweetheart. Just, again, they're usually calling from out of state, but, that's not a good giveaway nowadays. Just hang up. As soon as you hear the words.
That's what I have been doing, but I got two one day and one the next day, so it gets
old.
It's irritating. It's very irritating, but just keep doing it, sweetheart, because it's worth it to do it.
I haven't had income to file in 20 years because all I have is my Social Security.
Exactly. So you are safe, and trust me, if there was an issue, you would have received it in the mail. You probably haven't moved every year, so it's, you're probably in the same place. The IRS knows where you're at. You're getting Social Security. They've got your address. And if they have an issue, they will seize your Social Security. They have access to your money, so they will get your attention.
Francis, you take care. Stay smart. It sounds like you are. Let's go to Dwayne. Dwayne's on the phone. What's your question, Dwayne?
Yes, I owe some back taxes, and I've set out a payment plan with them in the past.
Good job.
But I come into some more difficulties, and they put me on a no collection.
Awesome.
And now I'm doing better. I'm sort of on my feet, and I want to, pick up and pay my taxes, but now I've got 2 years that I haven't filed on, and that's really going to kill me and my monies, and plus the insurance fines also. I'm just wanting to know how and what and who could help me get straight with the IRS.
Well, first thing you have to do, no matter who or what you go with, you have to stay in compliance. That's the IRS #1 golden rule. They have to get everybody in compliance before you can set up a payment plan, get put into non-collectible, do an offer in compromise. There are options, but the first thing you've got to do, sweetheart, is bite the bullet and file the last couple years' taxes yourself or go to an agency, whatever you want, get them filed, get them on the books, and then you can either go to an enrolled agent, that's what we do, or you can contact the IRS. Depending on what you have, there's wonderful different types of programs, even the non-collectible. Are you self-employed? Because otherwise, why are you owing money every year?
Yes, it's 1099,
Okay.
and in the beginning, that's what I did. I contacted them.
Okay.
I will never do that again.
Yeah.
I would
It's
go
not the
through
most
an
rewarding.
agency.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I talk to them every day, and it's not that bad, but I will tell you the first thing you need to do is just get those taxes filed, because if you're serious about wanting to get into compliance, not only if you're self-employed, all of us self-employed people have to pay what's called quarterlies. You have to pay quarterlies. I don't care who you are, you need to pay them. There's a fine if you don't, there's a penalty, you need to pay them, and that will get you out of this cycle, because if you pay the 4 payments when you file your taxes next year, guess what? You won't owe money. And then every year after that, you get back on the right track. And that's really what the government wants from you. So my answer to, if you want to give my office a call, that's not a problem. That's what we do. Or you can go to any agency, whatever. Get in compliance first, though, before you worry about making any kind of deal, because they won't make you one.
I do want to call your office, and I do want your help. I've had other people call me, and it's just, I need somebody local, somebody that I trust, and I feel like, from you being on the radio so many times, I've listened to you.
Well, Dwayne, you know what? I hope you have a pen and paper ready, because we're going to show you Dr. Friday's number, and you can just go ahead and give it out. And,
Okay.
and you have a website, too, if people want to check out.
I do. It all goes together. Phone number is 615-367-0819. The website is drfriday.com, or you can email me friday@drfriday.com.
And Dwayne, we're going to give that again before we go. So if you need to go grab a pen and paper, go ahead and do it in this next commercial break that's coming up in just a bit, and we will show it again after the commercial break. So Dwayne, I hope you get the help you want. You sound like an honest guy. He just wants to make right, and that says a lot.
It's always hard once you get behind is the
Yes,
problem,
you have to dig
It's like
yourself out.
anything else. It's like credit card debt or anything else, but the IRS is like the world's worst loan officers, okay?
They don't care.
I mean, no, they don't. I mean, they've heard every story
Oh, I
you
bet,
have, so
yeah.
it doesn't make a difference if you've been in the hospital, whatever. Some of them will help us get we can use some of it as a stepping stone, but bottom line is they don't want to continuously every year have the same conversation with you, and that's what happens, especially with us self-employed. We are notorious.
Yes.
I mean, because of the fact we're not getting any money out of our checks every time, but they can levy our receivables, they can levy our bank accounts, so it can get kind of scary. So you don't want to ignore them, because they have their own courts. They can do what they want. Where you and I have to go to court, sue somebody, and not really go anywhere, they can levy, lien, and seize.
Okay, very good. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. Again, we're going to show that number and the website when we come back. Stay with us.